In today's take, I want to talk about the Los Angeles Clippers and how their roller coaster season continues. Now, before we get into that, though, please like, subscribe, also hit the notification bell, just so you can get the newest and the bonus content first. We put out content every day, so you won't miss any content here. Let's just go ahead and jump right into this. Clipper Nation, I look at this team, they got a big win against the Lakers the other night. You followed up with a loss to the Sacramento Kings. Now, I'm not going to sit here and try to discredit the Kings like they're a bad team, because they've really been a really good competitive team this year. They've been really competitive amongst a lot of other great, good teams, better competition in the NBA. But at the same time, I still think it's a team the Clippers can beat. The Clippers have a better team overall, and plus they got the best player on the floor when both teams play. So Paul George definitely should be able to outplay a team like that. He only scores like 15 points, which is horrible. I think Marcus Morris... He scored like 21 points, but it's empty calories because the Clippers didn't win with his 21 plus points that he gave. So it really doesn't make a difference in what he gave, because if it doesn't amount to wins, it doesn't really matter. That's the way it goes. And that's the way the notion has always been. And that's the way it always will be. So when you look at this situation here, the Clippers, to me, I hope they don't really go through what we talk about, or what a lot of people talk about in sports, as a roller coaster team. Because when you play that way during the season, you can't turn it up and turn it on all of a sudden in the postseason. And that's just not something the Clippers are going to be able to do. But I will say, of course, with Kawhi coming back, that definitely will help. But at the same time, you're relying on him to do a lot of things to make up for a lot of this team's issues that he shouldn't have to, because this team should be more than adequate enough to go out there and string together some consistent wins and play consistent basketball on a nightly basis, to where they make their fans and they make themselves feel confident about what they're doing and how they can progress during the regular season. Now, so far, they're 12-12. They're 500 basketball. And to me, it doesn't matter who's injured. It doesn't matter who's out. It doesn't matter who's in. You are what your record is. And I've always said that, because when you play that style of basketball, you're going to play that style of basketball when Nicholas Batum comes back. You're going to play that style of basketball when Kawhi Leonard comes back. It's just a bad way of playing without the ball movement, and it's just not a good look on the team in regards to the aspirations they have, which is making it to NBA Finals and winning it. And when you look at this Clippers team, they have all the pieces. The pieces are there. You can't say that they don't have the right pieces. Or the pieces that fit. But there may be one or two pieces that I feel like they can let go or trade and get something else. Maybe like some people think John Wall, some people think like a Ben Simmons or a point guard that can control the game better. And I definitely think that would help the Clippers. But at the same time, that helping you to do what? Will that help you win a championship, or will that help you just be more of a playoff team? Because to me, the way they're playing right now, they play so up and down to me. They play good some nights, and then some nights they play a little off. And it really doesn't bode well with me, because I look at this team and I feel like this team could be so much better. Some nights you see some players go off, and then you see, most nights a lot of players you think of, like Marcus Morris, he struggles most nights. And then some nights he has where he goes off. It's just no consistency. And when you have no consistency like that, I feel like it really hurts the chemistry of the team going forward and how you build in regards to becoming a championship team. So if they're going to become a championship team, then, some things are going to have to be adjusted. And Ty Lue, that falls on him to make the right adjustments and have this team in order. Because when Kawhi comes back, I don't feel like Kawhi should have to come back and try to put a team on his back that clearly has enough talent to not only keep afloat in the playoff race, but also be a formidable team going into the playoffs. This team is better than 500 basketball. From what we saw last year in the playoffs, they're definitely better than 500 basketball. And if you're better than that, you have to go out there and play like it. And to play like it, you got to put it on display. And you can't talk it, you got to walk it. And that's what the Clippers are going to have to do. I don't want to see them have up and down nights. You beat a team like the Lakers, you get a big moral victory, a big rival victory, and then you come back and lay an egg against a team like the Sacramento Kings. It just doesn't look good, and it's just not a good look, and it's not good chemistry. It's not good enough to win championships. So the Clippers are going to have to make some adjustments, and Ty Lue's going to have to sit down with these guys and pull some strings out of them that he hasn't pulled yet, because I just don't feel like their up and down season and their roller coaster ways is going to help them in the long run. Those bad habits that you have on the court of lack of ball movement and, isolation basketball and, one guy trying to be the hero all the time, time, those habits turn into bad habits that help you lose in the future. So I feel like that's something Ty Lue's going to have to implement and get through to these guys, because even when Kawhi Leonard comes back, I'm pretty sure he's going to preach it, if he's not preaching it to the team now, because those little intangible bad habits are going to get you beat every time. And it doesn't matter what day of the week it is. It don't even matter what time of season it is, whether it's playoffs or regular season, they will get you beat. You got to have ball movement. You got to be concise. You got to know where you're going on the floor. You got to understand who to get the ball to in crunch time. You got to understand how to make defensive plays when needed in the game, to alter the momentum, to put it on your side in your favor, so you can be the team that comes out with the victory. But these are things the Clippers are going to have to implement, and they're going to have to implement them fast before the season wanes and goes. And now the Clippers will be in the playoff, find themselves entering the first round, going through the same thing they went through last year, 0-2. And luckily it worked out because of what Kawhi did, but you can't always count on that. So I expect the Clippers to play better going forward, and I really hope they find a way to get more consistency on both ends of the floor, because it's definitely going to make them the team they need to be in order to go against these top teams in the NBA that a lot of people are putting ahead of them, knowing that the Clippers have just as much talent as those teams, but they have to play like they do, and they have to really mean it, and they have to put it on display when they're out there on the court. But hey, that's my take on the situation. Leave any comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think. And hey, Khaliis out.